Good morning, everybody. So we're going to head up to New Paris Tractor Parts this morning and get a good transmission off of another pony motor. Rich up there had three 720s come in. They were owned by two Amish guys, and they brought them in and they told him to convert them to electric start because they were tired of starting pony motors. So for under $300, we were able to get a start or a transmission off of a pony. So we can't rebuild ours for that. So we're going to head up there this morning and we're going to grab one of them transmissions and we'll be able to bolt that back on and we'll get our pony motor fixed. So we made our quick trip up to New Paris Tractor Parts this morning. And we got back, and of course we're in the excavating, so we got to keep up with our excavating work and our farming and everything. So this project 720 gets done at night, like a lot of you guys have already gathered from watching my videos. So I'm loading out some railroad ballast off of an abandoned railroad that we're hauling to a driveway project that we're doing. This stuff makes wonderful driveway base. But anyways, what I wanted to talk to you about, take a little time here to talk about, is the 720 Black Dash. So a lot of guys have commented, and I greatly appreciate the comments, and you've contacted me on Facebook and told me, answered my question about the 720 Black Dash. And what I've gathered from the 720 Black Dash, it is basically the 730 before it became the 730. It's a whole new redesign of the diesel engine, different head, different injector cups. The pistons were revised, the rings were revised. And one of the notable things that you'll notice walking up to the tractor is that it has a plastic steering wheel. It's not just the steel round rod steering wheel like the 720 was. So thank you for answering that. And I figured I'd throw it on the video just to kind of share it a little bit with other guys that are wondering about the 720 Black Dash. Basically it was the 730 before the 730 was the 730 is the way I understand it. So kind of gives me a goal. I might like to find me a 720 Black Dash someday. I already told Dad that I'd like to find one. So we're gonna get this driveway base done today, and tonight we're going to go back to the shop. We got that transmission for the pony motor. It's at the shop right now. Rich there at New Paris Tractor Parts got me everything to do the intake through the hood. So I have all that. I just got to put all that together tonight. He was able to get me the original cast piece that bolts to the top of the air breather. And then I got the steel pipe that goes up through the hood and the dust bowl, the Donaldson dust bowl air intake that goes on top of it. So pretty awesome that I got all them pieces. So now I can have an air intake up through the hood. So I can't wait to get back to the shop tonight and get started on that. So thank you everybody that's been following this project. I know a lot of guys have been thanking me for being so detailed with a lot of stuff that we've done with this tractor. It's been a fun adventure so far. I can't wait to get into it deeper and keep going and see the finished product. So if anybody wants to, feel free to share my videos on social media. Get me out there so other people can enjoy this. And we also today, when we were at New Paris Tractor Parts, we looked into getting a 3-point hitch because our tractor, like I said before, doesn't have a 3-point hitch. So we're going to be getting a 3-point hitch here soon. And I discovered that the tractor doesn't have to leave the shop to get the combines in. I've discovered that our new addition to our shop, the door is wide enough that I can roll the 720 in there and keep it in the shop. So then when we get a little spare time, if we're waiting on parts between rain and stuff, or waiting on parts for the combines, we can still continue on the 720 project. So that'll be sweet. So anyways, as soon as I'm done with this today, we're gonna head back to the shop and I'll show you all the parts that I got, and we'll go through maybe getting that transmission put back on the pony motor tonight. So anyways, stay tuned. Didn't mean to bore you with the excavating, but give me a chance to kind of go over a few things that we've talked about. So I'm finally done for the day, loading railroad stone. Got back to the shop. Last night I rolled the 720 out of the shop, and I pressure washed it really good, and made a huge difference actually. Really cleaned the tractor up, brightened some of the paint up a little bit, washed a lot of the rust off the flywheel and stuff, and where the pony motor sits, got that all nice and clean. Dad and I are going to take these covers off, and we're going to reseal all this. We got a new rubber that goes under here that seals between the crankcase and the oil drain on the pony motor. So we've got that new to put in. So when we put all this back together, this will all be good and sealed up under here and repainted. So when we go to do the rest of the tractor, that's all done already. So tonight, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unbolt this air cleaner, because it's pretty nasty on the back side and I want to wash it out inside. I'm going to unbolt all that, take it off, get it off the tractor so I can pressure wash it. Walked into the head for the dirty Peter. But anyways, we'll come around to this side and see how clean it is over here. Turned out really nice. Still got some washing I want to do yet, but for the most part it's fairly clean now. Looks like we might need to replace a gasket under there. I don't know yet. So I'll come in the shop. I need to clean the floor up where the tractor was originally sitting. I had to jack it up with a floor jack, and I took our little excavator and I drug it around and pulled it out the door. So I'm going to roll it back in here in a little bit and just put it in this bay of the shop. But here's the new pony motor transmission that we picked up this morning at the New Paris Tractor Parts. Should be ready to go on. I need to get some plumbing for the oil drain, and then for the where's it at? They're supposed to be, let's see, where's the drain? Oh, the drain goes in here. It's supposed to be a pipe nipple and a 45-degree elbow, I believe. And then there's a little valve, like on the bottom of a radiator, that goes in here that you turn on, turn off, and that's how you check the oil in the in the pony motor transmission. So there's that. I'm gonna actually take these two out and wash them up, clean them up too, after we get them put back together, because that pony motor is pretty nasty. So here's the air cleaner I got. It's a Donaldson, just like the John Deere 720 originally had. I got that. I got the pipe for it. Got the adapter off of another 720 to put all that on, and then I got the new seat rubbers for the suspension and the seat. And we stopped and got 2 cans of John Deere primer and 2 cans of classic green paint for it. Now, some guys don't realize this, but there are 2 John Deere green paints. There's a classic green paint, and then there's the modern green paint now. The 2 cylinders are the classic green. I can't quite remember what the cutoff date was where they switched to the other green, but this is definitely the classic green. And I got the right steering wheel today. The steering wheel that I grabbed before was the wrong one. And we've got the right seat pack now, so I can get the seat put back together. Something we discovered. So one thing we did find out today when we went to New Paris Tractor Parts was that some of these 720s still had battery boxes from John Deere 70s. Well, with the 720 with the suspension and the seat, these doors do not open and close for the toolbox part of the battery box, seat box, whatever you want to call it. So when I replace these rubbers in here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut that toolbox and we won't use it at all. What I'll probably do is just get one of the John Deere black toolboxes and bolt a bracket on the frame of the tractor if I want a toolbox. I don't know if they ever made a frame mounted toolbox for these tractors like they did for the, what would be, I think they started those with the 30 series and 40 series John Deere big tractors. If anybody knows, let me know, and I'd like to find the right toolbox for the tractor if they ever did make one. So what I'm working on now is I took this air cleaner off, which was just 3 bolts, 3/4 inch socket takes them out. You can take it off, and you can take it out, and you can pressure wash it out, so I'm going to wash all that out. Got some degreaser on everything that I couldn't get before when I was washing, so I'm going to do some more washing and clean it up and get it a little bit cleaner, so when I bring it back in the shop it'll be nice to work on. Well, I got the rest of what I wanted to get washed up on the tractor done. So while that's drying, I'm going to take my air stack. Excuse the mess on the bench, it needs cleaned really bad. We've just been so busy running around doing everything like chickens with their heads cut off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this down with some brake clean because it's got a little oily film on it, and I want to get it at least primed before it gets rusty. I don't know if it'll get rusty here in the shop drawing moisture, but I don't want to take a chance since it's so pretty now. So I'm going to clean this up real quick, and I'm going to spray some primer on it, and then we'll move on to rolling that tractor back in here and probably work on that pony motor a little bit yet tonight. We are going to fully rebuild this other transmission for the pony motor and just throw it on the shelf. So we've taken all the parts from this and we've put them in a box for safekeeping, keeping them all together. And then this winter when we have time, we're going to fully rebuild this transmission and do a in-depth video on it, so that there's a video on how to rebuild these also. We feel like we kind of cheated just going out and buying a good transmission, but at the time it's probably the best thing we can do. So Dad's out cutting a tree out back, so if you hear a chainsaw, don't mind that. So with limited time before harvest and wanting to get this tractor back at least running, we decided just to go up there, New Paris tractor, and just get one, throw it back together for now. So, but we will still have the original one in our hands. So if it ever came down to it and we had time and we had the tractor tore down, we'd swap them out and then it'd all be original. I don't know why I'm such an original freak, but I like things original. I really hated to put a different block and head in Dirty Peter, but I just had to do what I had to do. Financially, it just made sense. So that truck is not going to have the original block and head, which, is that a big deal? Probably not. So anyways, I'm going to get to work on this stuff and see how far we can get tonight. I got that all primed up now, so now there's no risk of that rusting or getting any surface rust on it or whatnot. So brought it over here in the new part of our shop. This is 20 by 48 by, I think we got a 10-foot ceiling in here. And this is actually going to be our tool room / office break room area. But this was much needed because when we first built the shop, it's 36 by 48 by 14. When we first built the shop, we just farmed. Well, then we got into excavating when I was my last 2 years of high school. We got into the excavating and we outgrew the 36 by 48 pretty fast. So we built this for a little area to store some tools and some parts and stuff and get some more floor space out in the big shop. Eventually we're going to add 60 by 60, probably 18 foot tall to the back of our shop. And that's going to be huge because that'll give us a lot of room for activities. So I'm going to get started on working putting this together now. So I'm going to gather up some tools and get the camera in a good spot, and then we're going to get started putting this together. So I got the transmission put back on the pony motor, and I'm going to show you how I done this all by myself, kind of a trick. I took some 4-inch by 7/16 bolts, held the transmission up, got them started in the holes, and I basically used those to hold it up. And while it was held up, I took a screwdriver with a curve in it, put it in here, and I was able to move the clutch around, and I was able to get the splines lined up with the transmission of the pony motor, and then I just simply slid it together. And everything's lined up now. So I'm going to take, the only reason it's not tight is because the clutch is holding it away right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these bolts out, get one of the actual bolts started, and then I'll be able to squeeze it together and get it put together. So a little bit of a trick how to put these back together if you're by yourself. I don't know where Dad's at, doing honeydews or something. So I'm going to get the other bolts put in this and get it put back together, and it'll be complete again. So I'm switching out these alignment bolts that I used with the original bolts, and what the hang up was it was just hung up on the alignment dowels a little bit. I wiggled it around a little bit and it went right in. So definitely you got to get the input shaft from the transmission of the pony motor. You got to get that lined up with that clutch disc that's free floating in there, which it's not real hard to do. Just like I said, you can either go through the side slot right here, or you can actually, if you have a hook, well, you can get to it a little bit right here to get at it, to get it lined up, but this slot right here is your best bet to get in there. And having this screwdriver curved like this really helped. In fact, if you had one bent in a 90, that'd help a lot more. So
check that or anything?
I did. I did.
What do you mean you did?
I checked it. I'm making a video and you're talking. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to fill this with oil. Now that I got it put together, we're going to just fill it all the way to the top with some hydraulic oil, and we're going to leave it set overnight and see if it leaks. And if it doesn't leak, we're going to call it good. If it leaks, we're going to pull it back apart, and oh man, we're going to go ahead and we're going to reseal it, because if it leaks, it's no good. I made a mess, big mess. I just don't want that to go anywhere but where it's at, because I don't want it inside that housing where it's going to show that it would look like it leaked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this full overnight and come out in the morning, and if it's not leaking in there and it's not leaking out the end over here, I'm going to call it good. So I'm going to get some brake clean and spray that off real quick. And clean up under it on the floor. Make sure everything is good and clean. Oh, I need a clean rag. So I guess this is a good stopping point for this video. It was right here because we got to see what it does overnight, and obviously you guys don't want to sit here on the video and watch it all night long. That would be a lot of video to upload, and it takes me long enough to upload videos as it is now. So I think it's a good place to end it. So anyways, thanks for watching. And if you like this episode of Dirt Grain Steel, give me a like and subscribe. And like I said earlier, feel free to share my videos all over the place. So other people can watch these videos and learn something and understand from them. So, but anyways, I will see you guys on the next video.